Hey, welcome everyone to our EOB Workforce Wednesdays webinar. Today we have two educators and trainers that we are going to be introducing you to. We have TechImpact, who is going to tell you about all things for IT services and technology. And then we also have Nevada Professional Studies, who I know is offering courses in medical coding and billing. And I just want to welcome everybody to the webinar. If you are viewing us live, if you have any questions, you can go ahead and put your questions into the chat box and we will get your questions answered towards the end of the webinar. Today, we also have Scott Bushman, who is going to be helping our audience with their resumes, who is going to be helping them with information on how to conduct a Zoom properly, because you don't want to have noise in the background, you don't want to have your dog running around in the background, and all of those mishaps that can happen. You definitely do not want to be having a Zoom interview in your car. So Scott Bushman is here to give us all of those tips that we need so that we can successfully do a Zoom interview. Also, if you are looking for anything that has to do with employment, so we're talking about employment and training, we're talking about work uniforms, we're talking about work cards, we're talking about resume assistance, then EOB is the place for you. You can join us on you can log on to our website at eobcapsnv.org. You're going to click on workforce and follow the prompts from there. You can download the application, fill it out, and submit it, and we will respond within 24 to 48 hours. You also can give us a call. Our number is 702-445-7105. You also have the option, as you are aware of this webinar. This webinar will be every first and third Wednesday of each month, where we will introduce you to employers, educators, and trainers to help you get back to work and on a new career path if that is your choice. So as I mentioned, we do have TechImpact here with us today, and we will be speaking to Tayshawn Young and some of his other colleagues. We also have Nevada Professional Studies here with us, Christopher Williams, and he has some support from his team as well. And let me just say that, Christopher, every time I say your name, I'm gonna tell my age a little bit. It takes me back to the 80s and I think about the singer. I don't even know if you know who that is, but every time I say your name, I think about him.
Oh my gosh. And Chris sings. He does sing.
Oh, okay. All right. You have to give us a sample one day, Christopher.
That works.
All right, so let's dive right into it. Tayshawn, do you want to introduce yourself and TechImpact and tell us a little bit about what your program offers?
Sure. My name is Tayshawn Young. I am the program manager for Punch Code at TechImpact. Right below me on the screen is Leslie Estrada, who is our regional director for TechImpact. So our program, we have three programs that function out of Nevada. We have my program, which is Punch Code. We have CX Works, which is a customer service-based technology training program. Then we have IT Works, which is, of course, the IT networking training course that we have. So we run those three programs, and the basis of our programs is to train people in technology. Technology is growing in Nevada, and we want to be the springboard for students into new careers. So we get a lot of people, especially in Punch Code, who are changing careers, especially during the pandemic. A lot of people was like, hey, my job on the strip has gone away, and so I want something that's more sustainable. So we have that. Our CS Works and IT Works programs are more for people in between 18 and 26 year old range. My program is for 18 and above. And so that program is geared for more younger adults, getting them started in a career. The IT Works is a great program. It trains them for the CompTIA A+ certification that is industry widely used. And our CS Works programs gets young folks comfortable and into those beginning jobs in IT and customer service and getting those skills. It's more of trying to prepare people for a workforce, more than just working at a restaurant, giving them skills. Nothing wrong with working at a restaurant, but give them different options. A lot of them don't know that they have those options, so we try to provide that for them.
Absolutely. Thank you. It sounds like you all are doing great work in the community. And I love, love, love that you are reaching the youth, because we know that that's where it starts, right? That's when you get that leg up, it really makes a difference in your career path. So thank you. Thank you for the work that you all are doing and for the services you're bringing to the community.
Thank you.
Christopher, can you tell us a little bit about tell us a little bit about Nevada Professional Studies and what programs you offer as well?
Well, good morning once again, everybody. And thank you guys so much for being with us as we got our studio together here. Here at the Nevada School of Professional Studies, we are focused more on adult education as well as that younger population, possibly 16 to 24. And we offer the courses in vocational training of Introduction to Personal Computers, Microsoft Office Specialist, Medical Billing and Coding, CompTIA A+, CompTIA Network Plus, and CompTIA Security Plus. And when we say the CompTIA, that is looking at more on the IT course side.
Okay, good. So it sounds like you have a variety to offer the community. So you're focusing on IT as well as the medical field. And we know that during this pandemic, those are two career fields that are booming right now. Those are at demand or on demand careers that we really need to get people in, because they are kind of lacking. You know, prior to this pandemic, we didn't have a huge need for that. Well, I guess we did have a huge need for the medical field. We just didn't know it. But now, since the pandemic, we have been more forced to take a look at that healthcare system. And we realize that we need people in those areas, as well as the technology, because technology has boomed a lot since COVID.
Exactly.
As you can see, we're all on this Zoom having a meeting. Everybody's in a different place, but it works, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so Christopher, can you tell me what are some of the qualifications for someone who is looking to, let's say, begin a career in medical coding and billing? Where would they start, and who makes a good candidate for that program?
Okay. Well, let's just be clear. First of all, anyone is a great candidate for this school and these positions, because it is one of the leading career paths that we know of, at least since I can vouch and say at least since the beginning of 2020, with the increased medical areas and increased care that people need now post COVID-19. Is unfortunate, but to some it actually works in their advantage. So the candidate currently right now, our partners, we are partnering with the area of those individuals who possibly may be underemployed, who possibly may not be employed right now, and may be in need of additional training after possibly leaving a career. Of course, we know when the pandemic hit, it definitely was a great eye opener for those individuals who may just been in one particular field. Now it's great for you to be trained in multiple fields, so that once the world opens back up and you don't have to worry about switching from industries, you can take a smooth transition to another industry that will still be very lucrative and you can grow at the same time. Those individuals, we are looking for those individuals. However, we do have financing alternatives as well. But for the ideal candidate, underemployed or possibly on any type of assistance, you will qualify with federal dollars and state funding to actually maneuver through the training. And only thing you will need to do is go on our website, is nbprofessionalstudies.org, and you'll fill out the pre-enrollment form. And from there, we'll do some pre-screening questions for you, ask you about your prior career and what are some of your future goals. And as we determine those future goals, we'll continue to go ahead and get you on the path of getting funded, as well as what is going to be the best class that will work for your schedule.
Good. So it sounds like a fairly simple process.
Yes.
Are you all open to in-class instruction, or are you operating virtually?
Okay. We do have the option of having in-person classes. However, we are not back at 100% as of yet. So we still are remaining and being careful as maintaining the 6 feet social distancing and also the capacity as well. A lot of our students now are on the Zoom. We are 100%, well, excuse me, I would say at least 99.9% Zoom for those individuals. And it still is a way for them to have one-on-one interactions with the instructor as well as other students so that they possibly can grow and don't feel like they're alone, just looking at a computer by themselves or in a class by themselves. So we do have both options available, but we are looking more forward to the virtual.
Right, right. I really like that you offer both to some capacity, because some of us are more, we all learn in different ways, you know, and for
Right.
some people may be struggling, you know, with this new virtual way of learning. And so they need to come in for an hour or a couple hours or maybe once or twice a week just to get that hands-on instruction.
Exactly. So we have made those accommodations for those individuals. Like you said, some people need to have that touch. Some people need to feel like they're included. They want to be in a more business atmosphere. So we have those options available. However, we are in a ever revolving era of technology. So, you know, technology is always presenting its best foot forward. So who knows, we may have in a couple of years where people are jumping outside of the screens to make you feel like you're welcome.
Stranger things have happened, let me tell you.
Right.
Hey, Sean, I'm going to go with the same question for you. Who is an ideal candidate, and how can someone begin a CompTIA class or an IT training with TechImpact?
Sure. So, again, I have to talk about these programs separately. So, with CX Works and IT Works, you just have to be between 18 and 26 and have a high school diploma. The programs are completely free to our students. So there's no cost to them. All right. Other than that is having the want to work in technology. You don't necessarily have to have any previous experience in those fields. It's just, do you want to gain a skill that's going to last you for a lifetime? That's the main thing that's needed for those programs. For Punch Code, it's someone comfortable using tech. It's kind of hard to do punch code, computer programming, and developing without comfortability with using a computer day to day. Someone who can work in teams, people who like to be challenged, willingness to keep learning. The computer programming field is forever changing. There's so many languages out there. We couldn't teach them all at one time, so you have to have the mindset to always be learn something new. Someone who's good at problem solving. That's a big part of computer development. And other than that, it's a high school diploma. Again, our program does not require someone to have any previous experience in computer coding. If you do, great. If you don't, that's great as well. All right. We give pre-work to students who are enrolling in our program that get you started before the first day of class to kind of get your feet wet, so you're not starting from ground zero.
Okay. Can you reiterate that free part? It's very seldom that we hear that word free. I'm sure it may have took our viewers back, and it took me back a little bit. Can you just go over that one more time?
Yes, our CX Works and IT Works are grant-funded programs. It's a different reporting model for them than it is for us in Punch Code, which is tuition-based. Our tuition for Punch Code is $12,900, but we have funding options. We have finance partners that we work with, and then we also work with WIOA funding as well.
Okay, so it's very important that, we get these services and get this information and get these programs out to the community, because we know that we all are in different areas in our lives right now. We all some of us are struggling through the pandemic. Some of us are struggling to begin a new career. And then we have the emotional aspect of what we've all went through as a country as well. So it's very important that we get this information out to the community. So for all of our listening viewers, my name is Sana Harris, and I'm the employment specialist at EOB, the Economic Opportunity Board. And we are bringing information and resources to you today that are in your community, ready and available for you. So if you are looking to begin a new career, if you have found new employment and you need work cards or uniforms, or you're struggling with transportation, give EOB a call. You can reach us at 702-445-7105. Our website is also up, and that website is going to be eobcapsnv.org. If you need assistance with your resume, we can help you. And I'm sure some of our community partners are there to assist you with that as well. We all are working together for recovery. This is the goal here, is to help the community recover. We have been hard hit by this pandemic, and it is time that we are aware of the resources that we have, what's available to us. You can be grant funded, as Tayshawn just made you aware. You can also be assisted by WIOA, One Stop, EOB, and there are several other community partners that can assist you with paying for that training that you may be seeking, that is going to give you a leg up to a new career path. And we are coming to you today. We have our representatives here from TechImpact, who has IT and technology programs. And then we also have Nevada Professional Studies. We're talking with Mr. Christopher Williams, who is, they offer technology courses and medical coding and billing as well. So this is going to be the first and third Wednesday of every month, right here on the website. At 11 a.m. And each week we will feature different employers and different trainers. All right, so Christopher, let me ask you, how was your, or if your program was affected by COVID?
Okay, thank you. So as far as the program, or you're saying as far as the industry?
As far as the industry.
Okay, the industry. Okay, so the industry, I would say it was not 100% affected by COVID. I believe that the biggest obstacle that some of our partners faced was just having to limit capacity. But as far as the industry is concerned, the industry actually picked up a little bit more because there were different offices and there were different facilities that were opening, unfortunately, due to COVID. I know working with Southern Nevada Health District, there was a partner in the past. They actually built a whole new COVID unit onto the back of the facilities and hired many individuals to actually work in that position, not only in the medical coding field, but on the sanitation field as well. So a lot of opportunities came from that. Unfortunately, you had to deal with COVID patients, and there were a lot of different precautions that you had to pass prior to. But to answer the question, if I could be very broad, the industry was definitely not affected by COVID. I think it actually gave people more opportunities in this particular field, especially the medical field and the IT field as well, because majority of the world went on a virtual basis. So therefore, you constantly had IT questions, help desk, and that's what the industry caters to, starting in that customer service field, getting into systems, understanding what is not working, what you may need to do. So those industry actually, in a sense, were blessed by the COVID during the pandemic, because it was just areas that kind of had a more bigger need than other industries, such as we know the hospitality industry kind of took a turn for the worse. The gaming industry took a turn for the worse because of capacity issues. So like I said, it's just a great opportunity, more opportunities that came, and still opportunities that are going to come. And it was not affected by the pandemic.
Good. Well, it was impacted in a positive way, right?
Yes, positive enforcements. Yes, thank you.
Yes. So both of those sound like in-demand sectors that we mentioned earlier. So a person who is successful in completing your training in either your IT side or your health side, what are some ideal places where they can expect to find employment?
Well, we have been blessed to have a couple of partnerships with doctors' offices for those individuals who take the training and they're able to pass the state board. Some of our partners are offering positions in those particular fields. And of course, as I stated before, people are definitely going to more medical appointments, so that industry is still expanding. We are constantly working for the students because, our theme here is when others say no, we say yes. So we don't just say yes as far as the acceptance role, we say yes as far as to make sure that you maintain employment. And we're constantly networking with other individuals in our community so that we can possibly find those positions where people are able to go into these facilities, be trained, and be successful in the field. So that's one thing we can guarantee to assist with for those individuals that come through our program. Just possibly continuing to work for them even afterwards. We still have certain relationships with certain students. They call the director as, they go on the website, things of that sort, because they're able to still gain something. It may not always be just the employment, because employment is a two-way street.
Right.
We do our part, but the person has to do their part as well. But
Right.
at least we still can give them guidance, and we can still give them pointers after they complete the program, because of course we know that they're serious based on their completion.
Great, great. I love it. So it sounds like you have a number of supports in place for students during and after they have completed the program, which is essential. That's very important because sometimes you still need that guidance. Once you've completed a program, it's like, okay, now what's the next step?
Right.
And I just want to remind our listening audience again that EOB is an additional support. So you can never have too many supports. There are several community partners and community resources that you can utilize together, that can coincide together. So if you are a student at TechImpact, or you are a student at Nevada Professional Studies, and you may not be able to find the employment that you're looking for, EOB can also get you some employment referrals as well, can guide you in the right direction. Again, if you need that resume assistance, we are here to work together as a community, and the goal that we are working on is recovery. We are all working towards a common goal. Hey, Sean, I'm going to go ahead and ask you the same question. If you would, please, what supports do you have in place for your students, and what are some of the ideal places of employment that they can expect to go into?
Sure. So throughout our course, we have professional development that's built into the curriculum that we have. So with IT Works and CX Works, they have every Friday professional sessions. They have lunch and learns where employers come in, they sit and have conversations with our students. We do, resume writing, mock interviews, and that's in all three programs. In Punch Code, we also do those professional development, because the development interview is totally different than in other fields, right? Where they ask you code challenges, you may have to get on the board and put some stuff down. All right, so we prepare people for that field. We have professionals that come in and do presentations for our students. But I think the greatest thing that we do is that we provide mentors for our students. These are professionals in the field that can help them while they're going through the course. So they're an extra resource, extra instructor, or extra help as they're going through the course. They can bounce ideas off of. They can ask questions about what it's like to be in the field day to day. For our Punch Code students, we're in a very intense program. They might need help on an assignment. So our mentors are there. We work with different companies like Las Vegas Valley Water District is a big supporter of Punch Code and our CS Works and IT Works programs. A lot of people are like Water District. Yeah, every company has an IT department.
Right.
Every company has a website, right? So our programs are uniquely set up to go almost anywhere. Luckily during this pandemic, I guess you can never say luckily during this pandemic, but being in the technology field, things changed on a dime, and we were able in the technology field to adjust. It's very flexible field, so working from home was not a difficult thing for a lot of us because we're already in technology, so we had the infrastructure to jump into online. Our classes, went online, right? So it was easy adjustment. Let me not say easy. It was challenges to get everything running smoothly. But I think we were able to adjust quicker than other fields because we are already in this field, and so we had the technology at our fingertips.
Right. You reminded me when you talked about the Las Vegas Valley Water District. Sometimes we just don't go deep enough with our thoughts. Every company has an IT department, and so that is a wide field. That is a very wide field and an independent sector. And it's just something that we don't always think about, or maybe we don't put enough thought into. So thank you. Thank you so much for mentioning that. And I love the idea of mentorship as well, because it gives you, it's kind of like a big brother or a big sister.
Absolutely.
It gives you that kind of informal support, maybe, where sometimes we're afraid to ask questions, or we may, lack a little bit of confidence. But with that mentor, they're already in the field, like you mentioned, and they have that personal experience. And I just think that's a great, great support to have in place. I love that mentorship idea. That's excellent. Scott, we haven't talked to you.
Hey, how's everybody doing today? Yeah, they talked about the fact that having the opportunity to have help with your resumes is always good. You're working along and all of a sudden you have to make a change, maybe change in your career or add something to it. Maybe you already had a certain skill set, but you need to maybe update to what's current in IT because it changes every week. And so the ability to be able to add that onto your resume can be a really big plus. And that's one of the things that I've been helping with. One of the biggest challenges I've found is a lot of people have not had to do a resume for over 20 years. They've had the same job. They've not made any changes. They maybe done some lateral or upward changes with the same company, but they weren't required to create a resume. And so we have a lot of people that right now are just panicked because they don't know what to do, don't know where to go. And I can help you. I've been helping people with resumes now for, I want to say almost 15 years. And a lot of them have been getting jobs. And so that's always a plus. Helping with resumes where they don't get jobs isn't a big plus, but most of my clients get jobs and that's always good. It helps them, it helps me because then people, they recommend me to their friends and they come back. But again, the objective with this one is if you have a good or carefully crafted resume, it's going to give you an opportunity to sit in front of somebody and present your thoughts, your ideas, your enthusiasm, and that's where you're going to get the job.
Right. So, Scott, if someone comes to you and they are a blank slate, let's say we have someone right out of high school who has never had any employment, they are looking to go into technology, IT, CX Works, CompTIA Plus. Where would they start? Are you able to help them to draft a resume with no work experience?
When you're fresh out of high school, you've got to emphasize the training that you had.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be where your emphasis is. If you've gotten, maybe you've just gotten an A+ course, you would give your high school, you would give the A+ course on it. And then as you do, you have to remember your resume it's an ongoing process. It's
Mm-hmm.
not a one and done. As you finish another year at a job, you update your resume to indicate that you've spent another year on it. And so that's what I try to tell people. And you also need to remember that each resume has to be crafted for every single different position that you're going for. So
Right.
I've got probably 10 resumes, and some of them, the only difference is I changed the word teacher to instructor.
Mm-hmm.
Because somebody wants an instructor and somebody else wants a teacher, and they're the same thing, guys. It's just semantics. But if I don't put teacher on my resume, I don't get the job because they're looking for a teacher.
Right.
So part of the resume is crafting it so that it includes keywords that are going to get you the job based on the actual job posting. And that's why everyone has to be different. You want to include the words, if it says experienced with Microsoft Office 2019 suite, you better have Office 29 suite on your resume somewhere, preferably toward the top, because you have to realize you've got about 6 to 7 seconds to make an impression on them, and that's got to be in that top portion of your resume, just the first,
Right.
maybe the top third of your resume, maybe even less than that if they're slow readers. So keep that in mind, that you got to make it so that the information they need to see
Mhm.
is where they can get to it quickly. And then that gets them excited enough to read the rest of it.
Right, right. So it's all about grabbing their attention in those first few seconds, making yourself stand out. And no matter if you are just entering the workforce or if you are seasoned in the workforce, then there is something that Scott can help you with. That there's a way that he can help you to draft your resume so that you stand out and that you have a better opportunity. Thank you so much, Scott.
If you're a high school student and you've mowed lawns in Las Vegas for 5 summers, that's a plus, guys. I don't know about you. It's hard to mow lawns in Las Vegas because that would be, I would hire you because I know what that involves. I've mowed my own lawns.
Right, right. So it sounds like it's also about skill. You know, maybe you've never had an actual employment opportunity, but you are very good at multitasking. You pay attention to detail. You are a very hard worker. So some of those things that you found out about yourself in high school are going to be those things that you want to carefully place on your resume in a way that it does grab that employer's attention. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Scott, for that. Again, we are EOB, the Economic Opportunity Board, and this is our Workforce Wednesdays webinar, and we're speaking with TechImpact, who is all things technology, and we also are here with Nevada Professional Studies, who is focusing on technology as well as the medical field. If you have questions, you can place them into our chat. If you'd like to give EOB a call, our number is 702-445-7105. And if you would like to submit your resume to Scott to have him look at it, to have him help you redraft it, or to have you even create one from scratch, you can send that an email to workforce@eobcapsnv.org. We are here again to focus on a common goal of recovery, and we would like to do our part in assisting the community in recovery and getting them back into the workforce or into a new career. Christopher, can we talk about some of the advantages associated with the career choices that you are offering? So the medical field as well as IT. What are some of the advantages that your graduates would experience from completing your course?
Okay, well, I'll talk about first some of our incentives that we have. We have training workshops as well. Is very similar to the resume and being ready for the workforce as well. It mirrors exactly what Mr. Scott was talking about. We also offer laptops as well because we are moving to a more virtual environment. Every student that is enrolled in the particular courses will receive a Chromebook laptop. It is lended to you while you are part of the program, but once you complete the program, that laptop is yours to keep, because we know that after you finish your training and you get your certification, you will need tools to actually search for a job and to update the resume. So that is one of our incentives that we are offering here at the Nevada School of Professional Studies. As far as the industry is concerned, as I stated before, we are constantly networking with medical offices. Our board, our staff, they are well connected when it comes to different areas in the community. So you get not only just with the medical field, because you may even find that, as you stated before, Sona, that you may have great organizing skills. You may pay attention to detail very well. So you may be able to get in something that's a little bit more different, but will help you get ready the medical course or for the actual security CompTIA course. So it's a lot of advantages when it comes to the school as well as the industry, because we understand just because someone may be around a bunch of singers, it does not mean that you can sing, but you out right, but you're able to actually get connected with people that are in the music field, within the entertainment field, that actually may get you on your particular path. So we don't just stop at just the particular courses. We'll go through everything, because there are different portions. You have the medical side, the billing side, and the coding side. You may take more to coding, you may take more to billing. What's going to be the actual right path for you? Those are all great advantages within the industry, as well as choosing the career courses here with us.
Okay, great. I love that you're talking about barriers, because there are so many barriers that the community is running into, trying just to get back to work or to begin a new career. And so, as we talked about earlier, we are becoming the age of technology. Technology is definitely booming. We're having meetings, we're having classes, we're having trainings, we're having everything on audio-visual devices. And so it's very important that we give the students and the community the tools that they need to be able to be successful and to be able to just really start a new path. So thank you for that. And I really appreciate what you all are doing over there. Great job. Great job.
Also, I just want to take the time. I know you guys see this gentleman right here next to me. This is Isaiah. And also we have Miss Maria. She is our director. She is there.
Hello.
And we have Hold as well. He's one of our instructors. I did not formally introduce them, so you guys please don't kill me. So I'm not alone, but we are all here as one unit.
I'm just the silent partner.
That support, right? We all need that.
Yes.
So, welcome, Had and Isaiah and Maria. Welcome. And we're glad that you all could be here as well. Thank you so much for your time, for taking your time out to come and to be included and to participate as well. Christopher, can you answer the same question, please? What are some of the advantages that your students would have going into the field of technology?
I think it means Tashawn, right?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm so focused on Christopher Williams. Excuse me.
If Chris wants to go again, go ahead. So the great thing about our industry in IT and computer coding is that it's flexible and it's a skill that's not going anywhere.
Right.
I tell some students that I talk to, it's like that are thinking about the program, is like when you walk into a McDonald's these days, like you don't even have to talk to anyone to order your food anymore. When I was coming up, it was 5 people behind the counter and you had to talk to them. Now you can walk to a screen and order your food. Somebody has to program that, right? Programming is not going anywhere. Cars are being automated. Somebody's programming that. Your phone that everybody has their face in all day, every day. Somebody is programming that, right? So that field isn't going anywhere. We all have worked for companies, and one of the calls that everyone on this call has made is to our IT department because something is going wrong with the computer, with the printer, something like that, right? So there's always a need for IT. It's not going anywhere. And then the customer service, you call in to T-Mobile or Sprint, or well, they're the same company now, but there's need for customer service. And so these are skills that can last you for a lifetime. They're not going anywhere. While we see many industries that are going to automation, well, the only way you can automate is to have someone develop a program to make that run. And that's something that is unique about our punch code program, is that we're developing people for that field, right? In the next 10 years, the Bureau of Labor Statistics says that computer programming is going to grow at a 22% clip. It's much higher than that, right? So we want people to come into this field. IT is growing at a similar rate. So there's always going to be jobs out there. And to top it off, it could be a lucrative career. In programming, in some cases, you can make 6-figure salaries. And it's a lot of flexibility in the field where you may not work for a company traditionally. You may be on a contract basis. If you're working on a contract, you might work for one company like Amazon for a year, and then you move on to, something else, right? So you have those options. You can freelance. You can work on your own. You can build web pages for friends who are creating businesses. There's a lot of startups that are happening who want people in coding because they have to get their business off the ground. There's so many options out there for people, and it's just immense. And like I said, with the IT, somebody's going to have to fix your computer. In TechImpact, we have an IT department, right? That I have to call sometimes. Yes, I work for a tech company. I need help too, right? So it's always there, and these industries aren't going anywhere, and that's the best thing about technology.
Right. I think that the technology field addresses two very important things or issues that we've run into with social distancing and with the pandemic. You mentioned that customer service aspect, and so our interaction with family members or friends or coworkers is very limited, because we have been quarantining and we have been working from home and we have been working virtually. And so I think that customer service aspect is very beneficial, especially to someone who may live alone and they don't get to talk to a lot of people or they don't get to see a lot of people. It can become rewarding, because during those hours that you're working, you're communicating. It may be with someone that you don't know, but it's another voice on the other end of that phone. Or it may be a computer screen, but you are getting some interaction. And the other aspect is that you have the opportunity to work remotely, right? If you're in the IT department, you don't necessarily have to be in an office at a desk for 8 hours a day. There may be even some travel involved. So there are a lot of benefits, and thank you so much for sharing and for bringing that aspect into it. Another question, Tayshawn, that I wanted to ask you is, what is the success rate? Can you talk a little bit about the success rate of your students in completing your programming?
Yeah, so across all three programs, we see about 80% completion rate. Now, anytime somebody enters a program, sometimes life happens, right? And so there's always going to be reasons why people drop out. It's one of the reasons why we're evaluating how to be flexible with our students. For punch code specifically, we're going to go to a hybrid model. Now, when we say hybrid, it's not like the school where you go in for 3 days to campus and then 2 days at home. It's more of maybe I have to quarantine, maybe I don't feel well today, or my car broke down, or I have a kid at home. Well, if you miss 1 day of punch code, it's an 8-hour, 5-day-a-week course. That's missing a lot of material. So if you can't make it to campus today, well, let's put in an option for you to get on a Zoom so you can still get the content for the day, so you're not missing a day. So we really want to have a flexible model that will work for our students and our instructors. If our instructor is not feeling well that day, well, maybe you can do it at home, and we can still get the content for the day, and we don't have to miss a beat at all. All right. So 80% completion rate, and there's a lot of things that go into that. We provide those resources, like we said, mentors and things like that. Students reach out to us; they may need something. I talked to a student that was we were doing a cohort this year who said, "I have too many windows open, and I need to use my TV." Well, I sent her a connection piece so she can use her TV as an extra screen. So we're always willing to talk to our students and figure out how we can help in any way possible so they can get through the program.
That is excellent. Who doesn't like options, right? It's very important that we have options, because those are the things that are going to help us to be successful. There's no one model or there's no one way to navigating through life. As you said, things happen, circumstances arise and things come up, and it's important that we have options in place to help with that success.
Absolutely, and all of our staff are trained in case management. So, we really meet with our students. We do one-on-ones with our students to find out, how they're doing. So we're always checking on our students to see how we can help and get them through the program. It's stressful learning something new, Like you said, people learn in different ways at different paces. So we try to make sure that we're there for them to find out how we can help them get through the program. Because if we don't get them through the program, we're not being successful. We're not giving the employers in the Valley good people to fill their position. So we want to make sure that we're providing great talent and giving them every opportunity to succeed.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's important as well, that case management aspect, because we don't always know how to ask for help. We don't always know how to reach out. And so it's important, with the whole mentorship as well, that you have someone that can check in on you and say, hey, how's it going? Do you need anything? How can I support you better? Are you having a bad day today, or whatever it may be? But that support and having those options are what is going to make a successful student. Absolutely. Christopher, I'm going to ask you the same question, if you will. What is the graduation success rate for your students?
We are grateful and forever blessed. For the last 2 years, we have had a 100% completion.
Oh, wow.
And this has been, just like Mr. Young, we focus more so on a demographic to where a lot of case management is definitely necessary. You constantly have to follow up with the participants to keep them motivated and, make sure that they actually stay on task, because of course, some of the younger generation that we have had come through the school, they may have had some issues with, just sticking to one thing. They may think something is going to be one way when they first start. But of course, as they go along, things change and it gets a little tedious and it gets very rigorous as well. So we have to use those case management skills as well as those empathetic skills to continue to keep our participants motivated. And with that method, it has allowed 100% of students to complete the program. We also offer you to repeat, of course. So just say if you've been out for a while, we will work with you on a scheduled basis to get you caught up or to repeat the courses so that you possibly can get to the place that you need to be when you left off. So by any means necessary is one of our mottos as well, to get you completed, because we really want you to be successful in your next career field.
Absolutely. I love it. Again, it's all about the options, right? And that additional support is what is going to make us successful. I just want to remind our listening audience once again, if you have questions, you can type those questions into the chat. My name is Sana Harris, and I'm the employment specialist at EOB, the Economic Opportunity Board. And every first and third Wednesday of the month, you can join us right here at 11 a.m., where we will bring to the community resources, educators, trainers, and employers that will let you know what options are available to you that can help you find employment, that will offer you employment, that will also get you started on a new career path. Our number here is 702-445-7105. And our website, once again, is eobcapsnv.org. You may also submit all of your resume questions to our workforce email, which is going to be workforce@eobcapsnv.org. If you have found new employment and you are struggling to get to work, you need work uniforms, you need work cards, EOB is the place that can assist you. So please give us a call. We are a community action partner, and we are here to assist the community in recovery. So I am going to begin to wrap this session up, everyone. Thank you once again for joining us. You all have been beautiful hosts. So for our last question, I want to ask Christopher, what is it that sets your program apart from others? Why should someone choose Nevada Professional Studies?
Well, that's a loaded question. I guess, there's no greater way to say this. When others say no, we say yes. There's so many different barriers when it comes to completing any type of education. I don't care if you're on the vocational side, the secondary education side, or what have you. When completing any type of course that, you can get discouraged, but, you may say no, but we're saying yes here. You can always visit our website to go on virtual tours. We have a small class environment because we do believe that it's very important for that person to have that one-on-one time. And we do believe that when you get with like-minded individuals in a small setting, it makes things a little bit easier to maneuver through. So we've talked about the incentives that we have. If you would like to experience our virtual tour, we have that available now if you guys would like to go to it, but I know we're wrapping up. So you definitely can go to our website, NevadaProfessionalStudies.org, and go through our virtual tour and just take a look at what you will be getting yourself into. We have instructors that understand the extra population and who have been through things similar. And we understand that being empathetic while being motivating is one of the number one sources that has kept us successful all of these years. So that's one thing that definitely continue and will continue to set us apart from other schools. And we love our other partners in other schools as well. But when it comes to our demographic and when it comes to the individuals that we wish to help, that we know that we've been called to do, we take that very seriously. So when others say no, we continue to say yes.
Thank you so much for the great work that you are doing in the community. It's very important, you know, that we are here to support one another as professionals, as colleagues, and it's equally as important that we are here for the community and to help them in their recovery. Can you please give us your website one more time?
So I need some water, excuse me. It's www.nvprofessionalstudies.org. Once again, www.nv for Nevada, professionalstudies.org.
Thank you so much, Christopher. I appreciate it. Tayshawn, same question for you as well. What is it that sets TechImpact apart? And also let our viewers know how they can get in contact with you if they want to start on your career path.
Absolutely. So TechImpact's mission is to empower communities through technology. And one of the ways you do that is to train people and train them well in the technology field, especially with the growing need for technology, especially in the Las Vegas Valley. The way our programs are set up, we have so many resources, the mentorship part of it, you have direct access to employers that we have relationships with. We have internships set up through our programs to get you that bridge to the job. And then we provide resources to you after you graduate. Once you become an alumni of our programs, you're always an alumni. So if you need help after you graduate, finding a new job, finding a new employer, mock interviews, whatever you need, once you've graduated our programs, you can come back to us and we can provide that help. We're always reaching out to our alumni. We also have them come back and be mentors to our current students. So we have that wraparound service for our students. And specifically for punch code and computer coding, a lot of programs offer online only. We're in person. All right, so you get that access to your instructor every day where you're working in the classroom with them one-on-one, which is a big help to people. A lot of people are hesitant about learning online. It's tough for them. Well, we have an option for you to go into a classroom, an environment that you're used to, where you can learn how to code that way. And in the program, that it's a difficult program. It's not an easy thing to get through, but we have it set up in a way where it makes it easier for people to get through our program because we have that in-person touch. And like I said, we're always in contact with our students and with our alumni after they graduate to provide them whatever resources that they need. To contact us, you can reach out to us at TechImpact.org. That is TechImpact.org.
Thank you so much, Christopher, and thank you, Tayshawn, so much as well for sharing. I appreciate you and your teams being here. You were excellent guests on our Workforce Wednesdays, and we may be reaching out to you in the future to come and do other programs with us as well. Thank you so much. Do any of you have any last words that you would like to tell our viewing audience or any statements that you'd like to make?
Just once again, for those individuals that are interested, please go to our website, the www.nvprofessionalstudies.org, and fill out our pre-enrollment form. That way we can go into specific details about the courses, what's going to work for you so that we can get you started. We are eager and willing, ready, and to assist. We're excited about what's going to come after we gain our partnership.
Great, thank you so much.
For us, Sana, I just want to thank you for the invite to this session. It's really important for us as a company to be involved with community partners. Again, thank you so much for this opportunity. It was great, and we look forward to working with you in the future.
Thank you. Thank you. It's important that we all work together because, again, I know I keep saying it and I just can't stop saying it. We are here for the community to assist them in their recovery. We all have been affected in one way or another by this COVID pandemic, and it's important that we band together and are able to get these resources out to the community because it's very much needed. So thank you all, and I enjoy working with you, and I know there will be great things to come in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you again, Sana.
You're
Thank you so
welcome.
much. All right.